We got to remember, sometimes that basketball is not always about the game, it's about the halftime entertainment. By the way, your hair is just fine. Number 3, Sheridan at number 2, Laramie. First quarter, Sheridan wearing the gold. Stephanie Sessions will collect the miss and clean up the mess on the putback to put the Lady Broncs on the board first, leading 2-0. Last year's state runner-ups are trying to get out to a good start. Haley Lagaki's pretty much surrounded by the opposition, but that didn't stop her from scoring the first 2 of her 12 points, and the visitors would jump out to a 4-zip lead. Laramie would get their first 3 points from the free throw line, but they needed a field goal, and we're already 5 minutes plus into the game. Kylie Heiser takes care of that problem with a 3-bomb. That would give the Lady Plainsmen their first lead at 6-4. The opposition would not stay down for long. In fact, they answered in similar fashion. Lagaki lets her fly and connects for 3 of her own, and that puts her team back on top by a count of 7-6. Both teams were trading threes for a while, but it does make for good highlights. Heiser is wide open for another contribution. She led all scorers with 20, and her team led 12-10 after the first 8 minutes. Second quarter, Laramie would add on to their lead. Tessa Holmes with a long ball, not quite long enough for 3, so she'll have to settle for 2, but it makes the score 14-10. Things were going pretty good for the ladies, but there are those times when you got to do things yourself. Heiser was thinking the exact same thing, and this lay-in would give the Lady Plainsmen a 20-12 advantage. Sheridan had been quiet for a while, 4 minutes without a field goal, but Sessions scores quickly off the inbounds to end that drought, and the score is now 20-14. Sometimes you just had to be in the right place at the right time. Ricky Ryan was on this play. Maybe it was drawn up that way. I don't know. The Lady Broncs are closing the gap down 20-16. The home team was not about ready to let the opposition get any closer just yet. Nice inside pass to Kyrie Anderson, who will drive inside and get the 2 points. That would open up some space with the scoreboard reading 22-16. But Sessions was teaching a lesson all game long. She put up a few tough shots, but got a number of them to go. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sheridan would go into the locker room down 24-18. Third quarter, the Lady Broncs kept hanging around. Sessions again with another difficult play. 21 points for the senior, and her team's only down by 4. It's 24-20. Laramie kept managing to keep the opposition at arm's length. Madison Legursky adds to the cause with a jumper of her own to make it a 26-20 affair. The home team was putting together a mini run of sorts. Off of the turnover, Heiser has a wide open path to the hoop. She probably could have walked her way into 2 points. That makes the score 28-20. Sheridan at times had too many players in the backcourt on their full court defense, and that meant there wasn't enough defenders on the other side. Legursky's going to end up cashing in on that mistake. The Lady Plainsmen have a 10-point cushion again, leading 30-20. Now this next highlight started out a bit weird, but it had some good results. Emily Julian gets knocked down, but somehow ends up with the loose ball. The Lady Broncs are on the move, but Legursky comes up with a swat. But Lagaki will get a second chance shot to go and the foul. A strange turn of events, and Sheridan found themselves trailing 32-24 going into the final 8 minutes. Fourth quarter, Lady Broncs made their move. Lagaki's going to drive, stop, pop, and hit from close range, and that had things close with her team trailing 32-30. They were inching ever so closer. Lagaki will try again from just about the same spot, but this time she'll get a little interference, but she got the 2 and one more try. The 3-point play made it 34-33, so there's more work to be done. The visitors were trying just about everything, and when it did not work, they had a backup plan. Sessions' putback will polish off a 13-2 run, and Sheridan is back on top now, 35-34. As for Laramie, they were in a serious drought. 8 minutes without a field goal is a problem. This ended up being the only bucket of the quarter for the Lady Plainsmen, courtesy of Anderson, but it was enough that we had to send this game into overtime, tied at 36. In the extra period, the home team woke up quickly. Katie Kuhn will get in on the act not long after the jump ball. Her team would eventually go up 40-36. Sheridan still had a few tricks up their sleeve, and this one came from a freshman. Emily Julian dropping a 3 off the bench. She might get a little more playing time soon. Her team's down 40-39. But from there, the game came down to free throws, and here was the most critical ones. Heiser sinks a couple with about 2 seconds to go, and that was enough to make the difference as Laramie salvages a weekend split on their games, winning this one in overtime, 47-44.